Skiller.
Everybody, I'm Haven and welcome back. Today's video is just gonna be my thoughts about Survivor Series weekend. That includes War Games, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw after Survivor Series 2019. But before I get started, I just want to say, if you are not already, I do not know what you're waiting for. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, become a alien, hop on the spaceship, and let's get into this video. Okay, so War Games to me was like the perfect pay-per-view I have ever seen. It started off, before the show got started, Mia Yim got attacked, so she couldn't be on the team, so Dakota Kai was going to take her place. This match opened the show. This match, fan-freaking-tastic. I cannot do it any justice by explaining anything that happened. It was just amazing. Personally, I think they should have ended the pay-per-view because it was just that freaking good. All of these ladies did an amazing job in this match. I'm probably a little bit biased because I love Bianca Belair. When it was Dakota Kai's turn to come out of the cage, she came out and then turned around and beat up Tegan Nox. She pretty much went full heel and she left. So now Rhea Ripley was left with two teammates gone just like that. But the match ended when Rhea handcuffed herself to Shayna Baszler and hit her with her finisher on the chairs, and her team won. Amazing, because it was 4-on-2, but that match was so freaking good. So then we had Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, and Killian Dane fighting for the #1 contendership to fight Adam Cole for his title at Survivor Series. This match was really good as well. I really love the different dynamics between these three men, and of course, as I predicted, Pete Dunne won, but no one was mad at that at all. Also, we had Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle, and Finn won. I knew he was going to. There's no way he comes back as a big deal and loses. I don't know if the feud is over or not. I actually wouldn't mind seeing them to continue this feud for another month or so, but yeah, Finn won. So we had the 5-on-5 men's match. This is the thing, because Tommaso's team still didn't have a fourth man, but listen, the match started, them in the Undisputed Era, it was getting so crazy. When Adam Cole came out, he's pulling out tables, and the crowd was asking for tables all night long, and I literally said he better not be going through these tables. And what happened right after? He went through a table on the outside, and I'm just like, so y'all really don't care about nothing I say. Got you. It turns out Kevin Owens was the final man, and what? That was a big shock, and nobody was mad at that because Kevin Owens is such a badass. He can wrestle, he can do all sorts of different styles, and I'm like, he actually completes Tommaso's team. Now when Kevin Owens came out, he came out hot. He was beating them up left, right, and center, but then he caught a Panama Sunrise by Adam Cole on the steel, like in between the two rings, and oh my gosh, I'm like, well, Kevin Owens, we will not see him anymore in this match. But he actually came back and hit a frog splash, a beautiful one at that, through a table, and the match ended when Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa was on top of the cage, and he hit Cole with this move off the cage through a table. I had to brace myself because I saw it coming, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Not only did he go through one table immediately after I said he better not go through, but he went through a table in the worst way, off the cage, to lose the match. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. I loved everything about this pay-per-view, and I was sitting here like, you know what? People are saying Survivor Series is not going to do good, but I was certain that Survivor Series would do just as good or very close to War Games. So let's just get into Survivor Series. So I definitely missed the pre-show, but there was 3 matches on the pre-show, and NXT, Raw, and SmackDown each got a win on the pre-show. So when the main show started, everybody was even, tied at 1 point. So the women's 5-on-5 started this pay-per-view, and just like they started at War Games, and as I said, this match probably should have ended the pay-per-view because it was so freaking good. NXT had their team. It was pretty much the same, but they added in Toni Storm and Bianca Belair with Rhea Ripley and her team from War Games pretty much. The only thing I would say about both the women's and the men's elimination 5-on-5 was that some of the eliminations were so easy and so quick. That's the one thing I didn't like. The thing that stood out in the women's was Charlotte and Asuka had an issue for some reason, and Asuka spit the green mist in her face, which had Lacey hit Charlotte with the women's right, and she got eliminated that way. I thought that was pretty cool because I was wondering how would Charlotte get eliminated, because she's like, you know, at the top of their list. So it came down to pretty much Sasha and Rhea Ripley, and this, I actually want to see a match between them. I want to see a match between Rhea and Charlotte. It's so many people from the main roster NXT I want to see go at it, but it came down to these two and they were so good together. But Sasha lost. She got hit with a kick by Io Shirai because at one point 2 of the women couldn't wrestle anymore, so they got taken to the back, but then they came back towards the end to help out Rhea. So it was kind of like a little cheating, but was it cheating? Was it ever really eliminated? Was they counted out? At the end of the day, NXT won that point. So we had AJ Styles versus Nakamura and Roderick Strong. This match was super good. I was probably most excited. I was excited for all of these matches, let me be real. But this match was so good, and Roderick Strong won because he is such a sneaky snake. I believe Shinsuke had hit his finisher on AJ, and then Roderick Strong came in and stole that pin. Or it might have been AJ who hit it on Nakamura, but somebody hit their finisher and he came through with the pin. So hey, Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne for the NXT World Title. Great match. I cannot believe they put on such a crazy match after what they went through the night before. I seen everybody talking about this match. They came out crazy. They was getting wild, taking moves, and I'm just like, why? After all you went through, more of this? But it was so good, and Adam Cole actually retained his title, which I did not expect to happen because, let's be real, he's had a crazy 2 weeks. He has to be beaten up, sore, but he retained, and I'm not mad at all. So we had Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend, and Daniel Bryan lost. The match was what it was. It wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Not saying I don't care, but maybe it was my least anticipated match on this pay-per-view. People are complaining about the red light. I don't mind the red light because it's different. It's his thing when he wrestles. It's one match out of maybe 7 or more. Relax, take it easy. Y'all complain about every single thing when it's not even necessary. But yeah, of course he retained. Don't know who's gonna take this title from him, but I am curious to see who his next opponent may be. So we had the men's 5-on-5 and it was good. Corbin was a bastard. He's beefing with his team. And it came down though to Roman Reigns and Keith Lee. And let me tell you, I was so surprised that they let Keith Lee shine. He looked amazing out there. He hit Roman with the, I think it's called the Spirit Bomb, violated Roman. Roman ended up on his neck. I was actually mad Roman kicked out of that because he should not have kicked out at all. He ended up winning. He pinned Keith Lee. He got the win for SmackDown. But they shook hands after, and the crowd was so hot for Keith Lee. They're singing, they're chanting, basking his glory, they're chanting his name. Like, they wanted him to win 100%. And I was like, I hope Vince hears this and just hears how hot the crowd are for the NXT people, because you cannot deny how real they are. So Brock fought Rey Mysterio for the world title, and I didn't expect much from this match. It actually went on longer than I thought it would. Dominic came out at one point to help his father. They double teamed Brock for a bit. He hit a frog splash, but at the end of the day, Rey Mysterio got caught with an F5 and he lost. Of course he was going to. So yeah, don't really care much for this. Let's move on. So then we move on to the main event. It was Shayna Baszler, NXT Women's Champion, Bayley, SmackDown Women's Champion, and Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion. This match to me was a bit of a disappointment. It was not bad, but after the night before and everything that happened on Survivor Series leading up to this point, it was pretty much the low spot of the pay-per-view for me. And that sucks to say because I'm all here for the women, but it was slow. Not a lot was going on. The crowd was chanting boring. They started chanting, I believe, CM Punk. Of course they would. And just, it was like, damn. But it was alright. Shayna won. I believe she tapped out Bayley. So NXT won. They had 4 points, SmackDown had 2, and Raw had 1. Very shocked to see this because last year Raw did a clean sweep. And now they came in last place, and I'm like, how the tables have turned. I love to see it. I definitely enjoyed those pay-per-views a lot, and then Raw was pretty decent after. We saw Seth Rollins come out. He talked so much shit about the Raw roster, pretty much putting them down, and they all walked away from him like, ew. And at the end of the night, AOP came out and helped him, or rather they beat up Kevin Owens and didn't beat up Seth, but he thought they would. So people are saying maybe they're gonna be like a little team, but I'm like, why would they be here for Seth? Seth is a bastard. Seth is complaining. Seth didn't win, sir. But Raw, like I said, Raw wasn't bad, but right now that's the only thing that really stuck out to me. Nobody from NXT showed up, nobody from SmackDown showed up, so I guess it's safe to say that they're done with all of this. I guess NXT will be gloating on Wednesday, but I thought it was going to carry on a little bit more, you know, because I would love to see for the Royal Rumble 10 from SmackDown, 10 from Raw, 10 from NXT, because they definitely earned it. So we shall see. Maybe they'll pick it back up after TLC. And those is bars, alright? Don't quote me. I could do this all day. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you thought about War Games, Survivor Series, and Raw. I loved it all. I loved it all. I loved War Games a little bit more, but Survivor Series is like right there with it, you know. What was your favorite match? What was your least favorite match? Did you watch? I hope you did. I saw a lot of people saying they wasn't gonna watch, and I'm like, are you crazy? This is when they're gonna give us what we want, what we need, and they did. So yeah, let's discuss. Excited to see what you guys say about it all. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.